Hey, I'm Sugar Ray Leonard, the man of the hour, and had a great conversation with Justin. And something may happen pretty soon. I'm not going to tell you, but something may happen. And it's good, though. It's fun.
Let's get right into it. So I think you've spent plenty of time in and out of the ring, fighting people and doing the whole boxing thing. But I know that something had to have been on your mind for a very long time that this was going to be how it played out for you. But I wanted to ask that to you first. Did you foresee your future of boxing and your life to be played out this way that it has so successfully over the years?
Justin, I've been a very blessed man. I mean, I've been a fighter for what, 50 years. And to have come out of the ring unscathed, pretty much,
Mm,
that's a blessing, man. And now to reciprocate, to give back, to make a difference with someone else's life, um, or part of that life. It's a wonderful thing, man. It feels good.
yeah. And I think that's something, I mean, I call this the quote unquote, if you're watching, the feel good podcast, because I think something that is important to note about the most influential men in the world, like yourself, is that you end up going down this path of using your influence for good. When was that pivotal moment for you, though? I want to, I'm curious to know what, like maybe what year was it, or was there a particular moment for you where you told yourself, you know what, it's time for me to take all of this extraordinary brand and career that I built throughout boxing and so on and so forth, and now turn it into something like you had said to do good with it.
Well, from day one, the minute I was born, my mother and father injected in me to give back, to always try to help someone else out. So that's been embedded in my mind and my heart from day one.
Mm,
Um, they've always said, "Don't ever forget where you came from," and I think that's a big factor in how I react or things I do.
mm.
I just try to give back.
Can you give us a better understanding on the thought process, though, when you're making decisions in life? This is actually really interesting. I didn't think we would start going deeper into this conversation, but I feel like when people make decisions in life, knowing that it's rooted in a better cause or a bigger purpose, similar to how I'm sure you grew up, is that something you have to stop and tell yourself, like, I'm doing this because I know it's for the better good, or I know there's a purpose behind it, or just it's muscle memory at some point?
It's like muscle memory.
Mm,
It's again, it's embedded in me. It's who I am and who I turn out to be.
mm,
The fact that with diabetes, I mean, my father was diabetic. My friends, either they were, or their kids were, or their friends were.
mm.
However, that was one of those things, what factors that I said, you know what, I want to help. I want to be a part of this, and that's how it happened to me. Just all of a sudden.
Mm. And we'll talk more about that here in just a moment, Ray. With your boxing career, though, I got to ask you about when you started to win more matches and when you went throughout the career of boxing. This idea of winning, I think, is what people are constantly chasing. And I wanted to bring this up as a talking point because I know I'm guilty of it. I think a lot of people are. It's like, I just want to win. I just want to be the best of the best. But how did you balance that? That thought maybe sometimes going into the ring or just pursuing everything that you were doing over the years. How did you balance that while knowing sometimes you aren't going to necessarily win?
That's a very good question. In fact, I do motivational speaking.
Mm,
I've done this for 30 years or more, and I use boxing, fighting as a metaphor that life is a fight, no question about that. For your health, for your respect, for your job, for your kids, for your family, all boxing or fighting is always there, always present.
mm.
And so, but as me as a boxer, a fighter in the ring, you know, I believed I could win. I always believed I could win if I did my due diligence. I did the road work. I did all those things.
Mm,
Uh, and now me in life itself, life is still a fight, and it's a fight that, for the most part, we can win if we give
mhm.
it our all.
What about life makes it a fight? Because that's so true, but break that down for us if you don't mind. In your eyes, what has made this a fight for you?
Because nothing in life is easy. I mean,
Mm,
happy is not easy. Uh, Being successful is not easy. I mean, again, I'm trying to simplify this. Everything in life, you got to fight for. You got to fight for the respect that you should be getting from people in general.
mm.
You got to fight. I mean, to going to work, taking care of your kids, taking care of your family, taking care of your friends. I mean, all these things are factors. And I don't know. This is the way I am because if you met me, I'm not as like rugged and tough and everything. I'm so simple. My wife couldn't believe I was a fighter for so long because she said, you look so, she called me wimp. She called me a little, yes, she did. You shocked? I was shocked when she said that.
And she ain't calling you sugar yet.
It's getting close. It's getting close. Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
I think I'm closing in now. You
That
know?
is so, she called you a wimp.
Yeah, she called me wimp. And because I was like, right, I don't do those things, you know. This is who I am. But in that ring, Justin, in that ring,
Mm,
I was pretty tough.
yeah. I admire so much of what you've done. I think that's a lot of the times what people are, they're almost they're misperceived. People would think you'd be this rugged, tough man that does nothing but fight people, keep an aggressive attitude, and it's the opposite.
I'm so and humble. Um, Again, appreciate and I cry. I mean,
Yeah.
when there's reasons, and listen, put it this way, I am what I am in the ring. I'm tough, but
Mm.
outside the ring, I'm respectful. I try to remain respectful, and you know what? It's so simple yet so hard.
I think it's difficult. You're exactly right. It's difficult to play both ends.
Yeah.
There's a spectrum here of personality that I think you're alluding to. And many times people are trying to be one or the other. Tell us how you can achieve being both. You can be the aggressive, the rugged sometimes, and the stern, but then also the soft-hearted one that can cry.
When it's needed, and sometimes you got to stand up for what you believe in. You have to believe in or, or, or speak up.
Mm,
Can't be quiet. And like, I, sometimes I don't heed my own advice. But I normally, when things bother me, sometimes I'll keep it inside of me, and
uh-huh.
that's not good. You should vent. You should
Mm,
let go of whatever's bothering you, and it could be as petty or as significant. I mean, but you just have to let go of it.
mm,
The toxin is toxin. Let go of that.
mm-hmm. Or sit in a sauna and let the toxins sweat out. No.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. That's right.
That could be half the battle. The other,
It's a different kind of sweat, but
yeah, yeah. But you're right. It's toxic to leave any of that stuff inside. Who do you tell these things to? So when you're going through a rough day, or if you can imagine your toughest loss in the ring, who was the first person you'd go to?
myself, my God,
Mm,
my God. Listen. I was raised Baptist,
mm-hmm.
and I prayed even when I was an amateur boxer. I prayed, and I've never prayed to win. I prayed no one got hurt. Even as a professional fighter, I never prayed to win. I prayed no one got hurt.
Mm.
And it's been nice.
A little more on boxing, right? When it comes to a lot of the times that you were, whether or not you were fighting the person or you started watching these other matches over the years, do you think people went into that ring wanting to win more than to make sure no one else got hurt? I can't watch a boxing match, to be honest with you. Besides some of the tapes I've seen of you, I can't watch it without thinking to myself, oh my God, that's so much anger. Oh my God, he's about to get knocked out. Oh my God, that's so much blood.
Control anger. It's
Mm,
control. It's composure. It's believe again, I'm redundant upon this. It's believing in yourself because if you don't, no one else will.
hmm
It's what I call tunnel vision. Um, there's a lot of thinking involved from my perspective when I was in the ring. I break down you like if I was fighting you tomorrow,
mm.
I would find out your weak points and your strong points, and I would
Play to that.
place that. Yep.
It's very strategic of you. So if
Oh,
we get in a ring together, you can whoop my ass. I hope you know that.
no, no. How much do you weigh, by the way?
Uh, 140, no, 150.
Okay, all right. No, no, it'd be a good fight. Or maybe we can do, oh no, no, maybe we can do an exhibition.
I would love that. I'll teach you how to do backflips so we can like do the match and then do a back. I was a cheerleader, so my backflip is my party trick.
Okay, okay, but I don't. Okay, okay.
You get me on that treadmill behind you, Ray, and I'm gonna teach you how to do backflip. Deal?
All right. Oh, absolutely,
Can,
absolutely, Justin.
can we get into this bigger picture of living a life of service for one moment? So I know you have the Sugar Ray Leonard Foundation, which we'll get to, and hopefully it comes into some of the things we're going to talk about now. But someone looks at you, or I would look at you rather. Let's play it that way. I looked at you when I was researching, and I think to myself, this man has lived a life of service, which is why it was at the top of our conversation. And I had asked you, was there any point in time or pivotal moment? And you said it was when you were born. And I think that's a very special thing because a lot of people are still discovering how to find that in their life. Part of the reason I launched this podcast was I think, very influential men like you are able to provide some insight as to how to maybe create that if they haven't yet already done so. Because you could imagine how many people are in jobs or living a life where they feel very selfish, and it's because they're not necessarily giving as much as they're receiving, right? The definition of net positive essentially is that, you give more than you take. And then we all know it comes to twofold once you start giving more. But for you, I mean, you've already dedicated so much, especially after having gone through diabetes and your family, then to go and help other people in that area of their lives. How do you think if someone wanted to dedicate their life, and be of service to other people, they could either begin to do so or from your experiences, maybe pick it up at any point?
That my answer to that is quite simple. It's just that you care. You actually have to care. I mean, nothing can work or nothing can you can't be effective unless you care.
Mm,
Again, I get this from my parents. And I get this from what I see. I mean, I see people reaching out, making donations, things of that nature. I mean, you do what you can
mm,
as much as you can. That's what you can just say, "Hey, are you okay?" I mean, even saying that is, let's say, it costs nothing. Just be nice.
mm-hmm,
Just be nice to yourself and to others.
mm-hmm. And then time is limited too. We're 15 minutes into this podcast. A mile ago, we were already halfway through this thing, but it's true. And I oftentimes for me, I mean, I'm 25, but I keep asking myself the question of like, when will we get to a point where everybody will want to help someone or ask that important question of, are you okay? Without thinking that they're going to get something out of it. If you had to give maybe an idea as to when that time would be, when is that? Do you think that it's always going to be an issue that we have, not as much help and good in the world as we need?
Well, I think everyone cares about someone at some point.
Mm,
I mean, it's not easy to answer that type of question
mm,
because I mean, we want the world. In fact, we want the world's. We want our country to be better than it is. The world to be better than it is. But all I do is pray, and all I do my due diligence
hmm
to get back, to make a difference, to make an impact. I made an impact. Check this out, Justin. I made a huge impact in the boxing ring,
mm.
but I want to make an even larger impact by being someone that say, well, he wasn't only just a champion in the ring, but outside the ring too. I mean, that's as corny as that may sound, it's what I want.
In and out of the ring. Was there ever a point? We're gonna go between boxing and life here for a second. Did someone ever tell you something right in your mind that you were making an impact in that ring, or did you know deep down that that was, kind of what was being built?
That was that was a natural thing just because of who my opposition is,
Mm,
whether Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. I mean, that individual had a name, especially in the art of boxing. But we all have We all have a love for winning,
Mm,
inside and outside the ring. So it's, you know, it's getting a bit complicated now because I'm confusing myself, but I know it's real. I mean, you do what you do, but you also give back.
hmm.
Well, I give back. I want to give back. I want to help others.
Yeah. And I think you love doing that too, which is
Mhm.
clear as day to see, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good about that. You know what? When I give something to someone, I mean, whether it's someone on the street, which I've done a zillion times, I'm just doing that because I can,
Mm,
because financially I can. I gave, and I've given probably a million people on the streets because I feel bad. I feel bad for them.
mm. To just keep giving.
Just keep giving, and always not monetarily, but just
Sure.
say, "Hey, are you okay? You okay?"
Hmm.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. Because I think, did you ever tell yourself that that might have been your calling to do boxing and then now to do what you're doing?
Without question, I think it's God gifted uh, to be a boxing a champion,
Mm,
and then to inspire people, to help people, to make a difference in their lives, just for whether it's for an hour or a year,
hmm.
to make a difference in someone's life. Just to say hi, are you okay? Ask someone that. Are you okay? And I do that. I find myself, how you doing? How you do? I mean, someone asks you how you're doing, and that person lives on the street. I mean, that's special to them.
Hmm.
It really is. I feel.
Yeah, 100%. We're
Yeah.
on your foundation. Where do you want to take it? I know you said that you want to keep doing it. You'll probably do it for a very long time, if not the rest of your life. But where do you see it going from here?
I'm going to do it until we knock out diabetes. I
Mm,
want part of that. Until we knock out diabetes, until we understand and eradicate, knock out diabetes, I'm going to be there.
mm. And then educate us for a moment here. I think people, when they think of diabetes, it's often hereditary. And something I was thinking about, when we were planning to interview you, I was like, you know what? I feel like at some point we need to be able to knock out diabetes and cancer and all these other hereditary diseases that people have sadly suffer through, and we all know someone with diabetes at this point, and it affects their life tremendously. And I'm sure you've been talking with a lot of doctors and coaches of people and such, and anybody who donates, I'm sure, is somewhat affiliated with diabetes to some extent. But what's been the biggest shocking statistic to you since launching the foundation?
Well, the fact is, you can't. If you look at me or look at Joe Blow or look at him or her,
Mm,
you don't know they're diabetic. I mean,
right.
it's you couldn't tell for the most part. But again, I just want to be involved. I want to be a part of that moment, and I hope it comes sooner than later. That moment when we say, "No more diabetes, no more
Mm.
diabetes." I want to be a part of that. I want my hands raised when they say that.
Just like he did in the ring, folks. Hands were up right when you put them
Yeah,
belts on.
exactly,
I'm
exactly.
sure you're still strong as ever, man. I'm telling you, this exhibition run, you're gonna kick my butt, and it's gonna be very interesting to watch.
Just don't train because it's not necessary.
If I'm gonna go up against someone like you in a ring, you kidding? I have to go train probably for
No,
6 months.
just do that. Make sure you do this.
Oh me gosh. All right. Can we talk about our children, our future for one moment? The reason I wrote this down is because I think someone like you, as much as you're investing into the future of defeating diabetes, and you're always giving to people, and I could only imagine how many people you've given money on the side of the street. I know that you have a passion for um, the upcoming generations and investing in future leaders of the world. So it's something I wanted to bring up for a few moments. But how important do you feel like it is to invest in children right now, upcoming generations? And then more importantly, how have you been able to do that and done so successfully? I'm sure.
Well, every day I try to be a better father. I mean, You know, when my career started, naturally, I wasn't home that often. I was always on the road and
Mhm.
training and that. But even today, you know, I have four lovely kids. All of them are taller than I am. I just, you know, you naturally want to let them live their own lives, and you don't want to force anything upon them, but just give them some encouragement because this society, this what we live in today, it's so complicated.
Mm.
But let your kids be kids, and I learned that somewhat the hard way. You know, I learned to listen. My wife tells me this all the time. Learn to listen sometimes because a lot of times, you know, you don't give your kid a chance to talk or to express themselves, or they feel they feel you. They feel you. You know, they won't say so much, but my kids they say what's on their mind, and I like that. But it's everything within reason. You know what I mean? Within reason.
Mhm.
There's no one thing that could happen that could make life perfect because there's no perfect in life.
Mhm.
You know, I have great kids. I love my kids, and I'm so proud of them.
Mm. I love that. And it all starts in the household.
It's all starts.
And this beautiful house of yours with all these pictures and treadmills and weights, you making me want to go work out. I feel bad. I even did a workout this morning.
You haven't worked out?
I work out every day.
No, no,
Uh,
not today. Have you
oh,
worked
I
out
did.
today?
Hmm.
Okay, so you're okay. You're okay,
Yeah, but
Jeff.
you have it behind you. I need weights behind me too.
I just finished working
You're a legend. That's why. So
out.
here's what I have to say. You brought up an incredible point, which is listening. And I always tell people you will get every answer you need if you just open your ears, because oftentimes, and I remember telling myself this growing up, I think almost everybody wants to be seen, heard, and understood. And you cannot get to that point with someone else until you listen. And especially with children, like, it starts in the household, like I'd said earlier. And people often now are saying that it's so complicated that they don't want to deal with upcoming generations, or they're looking at the social media, TikTok, Instagram type children and all that shenanigans that they're getting into. But long behold, now I'm educating my family on maybe social media, or like they think that I'm doing 17 million things when they weren't doing this many things at my age. And similar to your kids, it looks like this is such a complex, oversaturated generation, and full of things that maybe could be distracting and stuff, but you could also learn, I think, a lot from what's happening through your kids.
Yeah, I mean, I have conversations with my kids, and sometimes I find myself telling them something, but then I don't do it myself. You know, like I said,
Mm,
don't look at the cell phone when you're driving, and then I catch myself.
mm,
I can't say this to them, and I'm doing it. It's a lot of little things, a little and petty things sometimes. But when I admit to that, I say, I'm sorry because I'm telling you what I'm doing. I don't
mm.
know. You know,
Baby
life
steps,
life is what you say. Okay, baby steps. Exactly, baby
right?
steps. And
And it goes back to what you said earlier, which is life is a fight. It's not going to be easy,
it's
right?
not gonna be
Especially when you have kids. You brought that up earlier too,
yes, yes.
you
But
know?
I'm happy where I am.
Mm,
Do I want to get better? Absolutely. I always want to get better. And again, I'm redundant upon this, but life is indeed what you make it.
mm. I was going to leave you with this term called unconditional resilience. And then I started asking myself what the hell I even meant by writing that down. So instead, I want to ask you, Ray Leonard, how do you think you've gotten to such a comfortable place of happiness? I think people oftentimes are, I'm happy, I'm good, right? But I think you're actually happy and you're actually satisfied with what you've done with your life. And it's because you seem so intentional. But if you could walk us through quickly how you've done that for yourself.
First of all, I have the most incredible wife, Bernadette. Uh, we've been married for 29 years. She's an amazing lady. She saved my life when I was going that way
Mm,
and doing some crazy things. I have incredible kids. My mom, she's 93. My dad passed away a couple of years ago, 95. I have incredible friends, and I'm enjoy talking to you.
oh, you too, my friend.
Life is great, man.
Yeah.
But sometimes I catch myself. I'll be complaining about, well, this is not going on right. This is not happening here. I, hey, just be quiet and go to work or do something for someone else or make someone else smile. Not even family, but someone else. Make someone else put a smile on their face.
And whatever it takes to do that.
Well,
I
and that's
love
easy.
that.
Yeah,
It's easy. Costs
easy. Yeah.
nothing.
Cost not just say hi. How's your day?
And it's who you keep around and your perspective. Everything you said is so crazy amazing. And you're a legend. People love you. We've loved you for many, many, many years. And again, I can't thank you enough for this entire conversation we just had.
Well, Justin, thank you. And I won't knock you out, but you'll know you was in the ring with me.
The next time you all catch Ray and I together, we're going to be in an exhibition match and he might knock me the hell out. Not in the hey, but if I catch you on a backflip, maybe not.
Absolutely. I'm sorry.
Thank you again, my friend. This was a fantastic interview.
For sure. Thank you, man.